Fox 14. The right news at the right time. And the Spirit of Community Award winner. This is Fox 14 News at 9.
A war of words end fatally. Now police are searching for the gunman as residents struggle to understand why something like this happened. And Mississippi is fighting to keep the nation's strictest abortion law in place. We'll update you on the state's battle plan against a district judge's ruling. Plus, Ruston gets peachy. Details on all the fun and festivities happening this weekend. Thank you for choosing Fox 14. I'm Sarah Scarlett. First on Fox, a heated debate turns deadly after one man is shot and killed. Now Monroe police are asking for your help. Fox 14's Chelsea Jones joins us in the studio with the details. Chelsea?
Well, Sarah, Monroe police are looking for this Cadillac CTS you see behind me. Police say it's the car of the alleged suspect, and a witness says this shooting is simply unbelievable.
They brought that to work. Can't believe it.
Monroe police say shots rang out near this Souls Pipe and Steel on Transport Avenue around 1:30 Friday afternoon.
I was like, really? On the job? Who do that?
Police are looking for a black male they say was driving this four-door black Cadillac. Investigators say the suspect and victim, Randolph Divins, knew each other. The two got into an argument and the suspect allegedly shot Divins multiple times, sending him to an area hospital where he later died from his injuries. The suspect fled the scene. The incident instilling a bit of fear for Souls regulars like Keith Andrews.
I do business with these guys, so I'm still going to come. I was just scared to come today.
Andrews believes this shooting speaks to a larger crime issue in the community, one he thinks starts with the younger generation.
Younger kids, what's coming up now is not have discipline, you know.
But police are still looking for the trigger man.
It's terrified, you know, to have something like this happen in our community.
Anyone with information on this vehicle or who drives it is encouraged to contact Monroe Police or Crime Stoppers. In the studio, Chelsea Jones, Fox 14 News.
Thanks, Chelsea. Louisiana State Police are investigating a morning wreck in Waterproof that took a man's life. 54-year-old Ricky Favorite was on MLK Jr. Avenue when he lost control of his Cadillac DTS, leaving the road before hitting a tree. Favorite wasn't wearing his seatbelt and he died at the scene. Well, Mississippi giving notice that it will continue defending one of the most restrictive abortion laws in the country. The law would ban most abortions once a fetal heartbeat can be detected. That's at about 6 weeks gestation, when a woman may not even know that she's pregnant. The Mississippi Attorney General's office filed a short document today with the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. Mississippi will file detailed arguments later, asking the court to reverse U.S. District Judge Carlton Reeves' order that blocks the law from taking effect July 1st. Mississippi is one of several states enacting early bans on abortion this year. Louisiana's heartbeat law mirrors Mississippi's. A Mississippi inmate on death row will get a new trial. Today, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of Curtis Flowers in his jury discrimination case. It was a 7-2 decision. Flowers was tried 5 times for the 1996 murder of 4 people inside a Winona, Mississippi furniture store. In 2010, the 6th trial with the same prosecutor, Doug Evans, Flowers was convicted and sentenced to death. The majority of Supreme Court justices ruled that Evans broke the law by trying to intentionally get an all-white panel. They say he was racially discriminatory when striking African-American jurors from the panel. A new trial date for Flowers was not announced. New at 9, a Monroe man is behind bars after police say he attacked the same person twice in 3 days. John Sampagnola III is charged with home invasion, second-degree battery, and simple battery. Police say that he struck the victim during an argument. The victim had to have a cast put on afterward. 2 days later, police say that he broke into the same victim's home. Police say when he found the victim asleep, he struck the victim in the face with his own casted hand. The impact broke the victim's jaw. Sampagnola is in the Ouachita Correctional Center. New details tonight. One of Louisiana's longest-running farm festivals is now underway. Fox 14's Maya Hudgens has come back from Ruston all peachy to tell us about it.
Today, folks in Ruston are one step closer to normalcy.
The Peach Festival is an annual event that we have here in Ruston. It's always a good time to come out and just be involved in the community.
May of 1982, the Peach Festival almost ended due to lack of money. Luckily, the Chamber of Commerce was able to get back on its feet and continue the celebration. Coming that close again, Ruston was hit with a tornado in April. To have canceled this festival because of the storm would have crushed Ruston's spirits.
There was just so much change going on, so much tragedy happened, so I think it's good for Ruston to come together after such an event and really just be a close-knit community.
But getting back up is what Ruston does.
I think it's going to be a huge parade because I think everybody's excited getting back to something that we're known for and used to. And
this year, the Peach Festival might have more of a sentimental value as the community has come together to help and ultimately be Ruston strong.
Just the sense of community. I think the storm brought that to the forefront even more, and I think this festival is just going to be a great time when everybody can get back to normal.
In Ruston, Maya Hudgens, Fox 14 News.
The Peach Festival continues to pump around $2 million into Ruston's economy. Coming up on Fox 14, the power's out, but the heat is on. Just how long will we be in the dark as temperatures continue to climb? And if you're about to hit the highway for a road trip, don't forget to pack your travel health kit. Don't have one? Well, we've got you covered. We'll have the details on the basics that you need before hitting the highway.
I'm David Owen. Time for the Honey Hole Insider. Well, the good news is the river's falling, and that's going to make for some really good fishing. The brim are biting just about everywhere still. It's slowed down a little bit, but they're still, you know, you still go catch your mess. White perch is about the same thing. You go catch your mess, and it's been pretty good fishing. Catfishing is good on Darbone, Poverty Point. That's a great way to spend the afternoon, and some good eating as well. Bass fishing, though, is really starting to heat up. That summertime pattern, you can catch them on some of them on the lakes, on these deep diving crankbaits when that sun gets bright in the sky, or topwater baits early. But the hot spot this week is definitely going to be the river. The river's falling out. Thank goodness there's boat ramps out of the water, places to put in. And brim fishing, if they start pulling out of the woods, you can catch them on stumps and stuff like that. White perch, same thing. Find some slack water from the white perch. Find a little current, you can catch those bass. Any kind of shad imitations, Berkeley makes all kinds of them. We got every kind of great stock at the Honey Hole, so come by and see us. Have a great weekend, and let's go fishing. Go to that river.
News sponsored by Twin City Outdoor Equipment. And now, Fox 14, your morning news with Randy Ayala.
Good morning, I'm Randy Ayala.
Hey, didn't you forget somebody?
Oh, right, and the new guy, Bode Brooks.
Sorry, it's Bodie Brooks.
Looks like Bode Brooks to me.
Well, this certainly doesn't bode well for the morning news, does it, Bodie?
Really, Randy? Come on.
Fox 14, your morning news with Randy Ayala and Bode Brooks.
Never gets old.
The right news at the right time.
Captain D's new Fire grilled seafood. It's premium whole fish fillets and shrimp without the premium price. It's bold flavors like lemon pepper, blackened, and signature seasoning. Fire means flavor when the captain is coming. Captain D's.
Let's get down to business. The business of getting it done. The business of road trips. The business of getting everyone back together. The business of hustle and hard work and whatever this is. Modernized Comfort Inns and Suites have been refreshed because whatever business you're in, our business is you. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Save 3 ways at Ryan Honda in Monroe. 1, our lowest below market price. 2, low financing rates. 3, the max for your trade. Shop over 200 vehicles in stock. New Accords just $179 a month. $179 a month for Accords. New Pilots $279 a month. Or save with 1.9 APR for 60 months. Come see why so many people are buying at Ryan. Ryan Honda. Your Honda, your way. RyanHondaMonroe.com.
At Clayton Homes, we'll find you the right home for the right price. We have several models of homes to choose from, or we can custom build to meet your needs. We offer excellent financing and award-winning service.
Hi, I'm Clay Knox. Come by Clayton Homes today and let us help put you and your family in your perfect home.
Big disgrace, waving your banner.
Get 0 for 72 and $2,500 in total savings on F-150, plus $750 appreciation cash for military and first responders.
14 News at 9 continues.
Severe thunderstorms hit our state Wednesday, and still about 25,000 homes remain without power on the first day of summer. Over 80,000 Entergy customers lost power, some of which won't have it restored until Sunday. And with a heat advisory in effect, no air conditioning can be dangerous. Rebecca Jeffrey has been following crews working to restore power.
Scorching temperatures and no power is a dangerous combination on the first day of summer. Thousands of people in central Arkansas have been sweating it out since Wednesday night.
I mean, 2 days without power is doable. 4 days, it's miserable.
Jackson Prather came home from college, and this is not how he was hoping to spend his break. So when the lights went out, so did he.
Nope, I'm leaving. It's hot.
With friends around, his family is taken care of, and so is their home, thanks to extra patrols by the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office. Officials there say they always add additional deputies in areas without power since more homes are empty and security systems aren't activated. But staying safe and cool aren't the only things being considered while the power's out.
It's hot, and it's going to waste all of our groceries, and we're going to have to go buy more groceries.
How much goes to waste will all depend on how long the power is out, and more than 1,700 Entergy crews are working around the state to restore it as quickly as possible. While many are expected to get some relief Friday night, Prather and his family could have to wait until Sunday. But ultimately, keeping hopes as high as these temperatures, that power will be restored sooner.
And Jared, you've been saying that heat advisories have been issued for most of the ArkLaMiss, right?
Yeah, we had plenty today, and we will more than likely see more tomorrow. Who's going to be under them? That's kind of splitting hairs at this point. It's going to be hot and humid everywhere, regardless of whether you're under a heat advisory or not. Forecast next on Fox.
Thanks, Jared. Also coming up on Fox 14, a public-private partnership to help you have a job right after graduation. We'll tell you all about the new hands-on training available at LDCC.
Celebrate savings. It's the Jeep Celebration event at Interstate. A Jeep Cherokee, $19,990. A Jeep Compass, $18,990. And the all-new Jeep Gladiator is here. This is a must-see because the vehicle's amazing. At Interstate Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in West Monroe.
These are some of the results I've gotten some of my clients. Now, I can't guarantee you this kind of money on your case, but when you call me, I'll fight to help make sure you get everything you deserve for your injuries. Call me. Get it done.
Get Gordon and get it done.
No. 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 Maybe. Yes. Yes.
Low rates, no commissioned agents, lowest down payment, and we won't sell you expensive add-ons.
Go Auto is my perfect match. Greg can really save me money.
Greg really is the Go Auto guy.
Give us a call and speak to one of our non-commissioned agents. Visit our website or stop by one of our convenience stores and start saving today.
Are you looking for a really nice car? It's Car Town.
You want a certified car? Car Town.
Are you looking for a big truck? It's Car Town.
Do you want a quality warranty? Car Town.
You want to be treated like a first-class customer, even if your credit's suffering? It's Car Town.
Shop us online at usedcargiants.com. You will get a quick response. You can get approved online. You can set an appointment online. Remember, usedcargiants.com.
Come shop with us, the foot of the Louisville Bridge, Monroe, West Monroe. Car Town.
The kitchen is the life of any restaurant, and if it's not working, you're not working. J. Russell Kitchen and Restaurant Supply has your back. Anything from heavy appliances down to utensils and aprons. It's here at J. Russell Kitchen and Restaurant Supply. Now open Saturdays.
Honey, this GeekSpeed internet is ridiculously fast.
We are seriously keeping up with the Joneses.
Keeping up with the Fords. Keeping up with the Garcias. The Romeros.
Patels. Willans.
Right.
No one's going to have internet like this.
Xfinity makes keeping up with the Joneses simple, easy, awesome. Check out GigSpeed Internet or any of our other amazing speed options. Get started now for as low as $20 a month for 12 months. Plus, see how you can save hundreds when you get internet and mobile together. Click, call, or visit a store today.
80% of us suffer from low back pain. Finally, there's Low Backtracks, an effective way to help relieve low back pain.
Hi, I'm Lori Grenier. I'm an inventor and entrepreneur. I found Low Backtracks because I had a loved one in pain, and I was so happy it really helped them. That's why I had to bring it to all of you.
Get Low Backtracks for only $39.99. Call right now and you can get a second set. Just pay a separate fee. Plus, shipping is absolutely free. Available online at www.lowbacktracks.com.
It's Dodge Performance Days at Interstate. A Charger, $22,990. A Chrysler 300, $22,990. A Fiat Pop, $12,990. Believe it, folks, $12,990 at Interstate Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in West Monroe.
Live Storm Tracker Doppler Radar, sponsored by bankruptcy attorney E. Orem Young. Now, Storm Tracker weather with Chief Meteorologist Jared Floyd.
Look at the new live Storm Tracker Doppler radar brought to you by E. Orem Young. Rain-free around the radar site at this hour. We did have some very isolated storms, generally I-20 southward across Mississippi through the course of the day, and also some dark, menacing-looking clouds at times along the I-20 corridor, most of that never really amounting to much. We also had some menacing thunderstorms. I like that word, apparently, this weekend. But we do have some menacing thunderstorms that have moved through portions of Tennessee and Ohio. The good news is, especially for folks in the greater Memphis area, if you have friends that maybe traveled there for the weekend, or just family that lives in these general areas, is that the storms really fizzled on the southwestern flank as we moved into the evening hours. Still producing some damaging wind gusts as we march toward Nashville, and now points even farther eastward than that. It prompted a severe thunderstorm watch for a lot of these areas earlier this evening. That watch trimmed for a lot of spots, but you can see the warnings that are still in effect as this activity moves to the southeast. That's really the only thing we have to speak of in our immediate area. Upper ridge of high pressure has kept us hot and humid today. It prompted a heat advisory for all of the state of Louisiana through the course of the afternoon. Most of Arkansas under a heat advisory, most of Mississippi under a heat advisory, and a good chunk of the state of Texas under a heat advisory earlier today as well. So that, again, kind of puts us in perspective of what we can expect going into the weekend, and that is very little, if any, changes. Low to mid-80s at this hour, 87 still in Shreveport, 85 Monroe, 85 also in Greenville, 86 El Dorado, Camden, Monticello. A lot of these areas saw heat index values for a prolonged period of time today over the 105 mark, which is obviously the heat advisory criteria, thus the reason that it was issued. But Shreveport saw a heat index at 111 at one point. We saw one in Monroe at 110. Natchitoches, I believe, was at 111 at 1.2. So again, those are pretty extreme, and that means heat illnesses can set in quickly. We're still seeing heat index values as high as 97 or 98, even at the 9 o'clock hour. And again, that's really kind of a sign that we're getting into that summer rut. But we will get some breaks from it before we really get more entrenched into it later this week and into the rest of the month of June. We'll talk more about that in just a minute. 77 for a low tonight. That also means not really cooling off much. Instead of seeing 71, 72, which would typically mean we spend most of the night in the 70s, it's not going to be the case. We'll spend most of the night actually in the 80s. We'll only drop into the upper 70s for a couple of hours. And then tomorrow we'll look for afternoon highs back in the mid-90s. Your mowing forecast, obviously the next couple of days should be fine. Just please make sure you stay hydrated. Monday and Tuesday, probably a no-go with the rain back in the forecast. Wednesday, not looking too shabby as long as the grounds aren't too soggy at that point. But we do work a weak frontal system back in first of next week. We'll be more than welcome to bring the rain chances back in at that point. Highs in the upper 80s, morning lows in the low to mid-70s. Rain chances becoming more isolated in nature as we head toward the second half of this week, of next week, with highs in the low 90s. Still could see heat index values in the upper 90s to near 100 degrees, and again, can't rule out those isolated showers and storms as well. Generally, it's summer, and it's here. Stay hydrated, keep the sunscreen handy, check the car, make sure everybody's out of the car before you lock it, make sure that the dogs also and all the pets have clean water to drink. There's a lot of stuff to cover when you get into the summer months.
Yeah, you have to cover your bases.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks, Jared.
You bet.
Louisiana Delta Community College has a new tool to help students graduate job and skills ready. The project has been 2 years in the making. Ashley French went out to see what this will bring.
It's an over $400,000 investment that will pay off when students enter the workforce.
They've had the hands-on training and application so that when they go to work, they're able to immediately make impact.
The hands-on training unit gives students like Adam Taylor real-world experience he'll need once he graduates.
Better worker. I mean, a better person, which is what companies are looking for. They're looking for people that are willing to try harder, do better, and they're well prepared, and that is what Delta has provided.
The HOT unit is an industrial plant simulator that creates scenarios students can find themselves facing in future work.
It gives the students the opportunity to go out and turn valves and read instruments. And these are some of the same types of pieces of equipment that they will see in industry.
It also helps educate them on the right procedures in the event of a chemical spill or accident.
Talk about the safety aspects of the equipment, the instruments, and the flow, and what would happen if one of them fails, because we want them to work safely, work in a safe environment.
It's advancements like these that the University Chancellor Dennis Epps hopes will attract more students.
The process technology, instrumentation, these hard industrial skills, they are very good jobs. And a lot of students really, I hope that they will explore these opportunities with us.
Morgan Monroe, Ashley French, Fox 14 News.
Coming up on Fox 14, technology could be changing our bodies, but not in a cool science fiction kind of way. We'll talk more on how being buried in that tablet or phone could lead to long-term changes to our vertebrae. Plus, summer's here, and it's the right time for lower gas prices. We'll have that story and more business news coming up.
The summer buyback has begun at Ryan Chevrolet. We're paying top dollar for every trade, every make, every model. Plus, get special summer savings on every new Ryan Chevy in stock, like $10,000 off select new 2019 Silverado Crew Cabs, $10,000 off Silverado Crew Cabs, or get 0 APR for 72 months. Buy the new 2019 Equinox for $23,895. Ryan Chevrolet, the #1 Chevy truck dealer in Northeast Louisiana. RyanChevy.com.
What does innovative cancer care mean to Summer James? It means getting back to life's big dreams, including dress shopping for her wedding, relaxing and appreciating the outdoors, and enjoying the company of her family and friends. All thanks to the healthcare heroes and exceptional care at Willis-Knighton Cancer Center. Always here.
It's the Honda 4th of July sales event, and it's your chance to get a new Honda vehicle that can pack all of life's best adventures. Yep, time to start checking off that bucket list. Selfies over at Niagara Falls? Check. Gateway Arch? Check. Being awarded by KBB.com as 2019's best overall brand? Check. So pop into your Honda dealer today for great deals on some of our most popular vehicles at the Honda 4th of July sales event.
Fox 14 News at 9 continues.
All that looking down on our phones may actually be changing our bodies with the growth of bone spurs on our skulls. Australian researchers examined hundreds of x-rays of adults, and 40% of those between 18 and 30 developed bony growths on the bases of their skulls. All had spent at least 4 hours on their phones each day, and these are the x-rays showing the growths on 2 of the adults. One was a 28-year-old and the other a 58-year-old. The growths ranged from 10 to 31 millimeters, but some were large enough that they could be felt as a lump on the back of the head. Bone spurs often form from repetitive motions such as tilting the head forward, which people do to look at their smartphone. And it's typically seen developing in the elderly and has been linked to posture problems. Well, Americans continue to eat too much processed meat despite the health risks. Researchers studied dietary data from nearly 44,000 adults, and people are eating the same amount of processed meat compared to 18 years ago. A quarter are also eating more unprocessed red meat than the recommended amount, and less than 15% are eating enough fish, but people are also eating more chicken and less beef. Previous research has linked the consumption of processed meat to an increased risk of obesity, diabetes, some cancers, and even heart disease. And many young men are engaging in disordered eating in order to bulk up. California researchers followed nearly 15,000 young adults ages 18 to 24 for 7 years. 22% of the boys said that they ate more or differently to gain weight, or they used dietary supplements or anabolic steroids to achieve the same goal. Now, if left untreated, it may lead to following a strict diet, over-exercising, and extreme preoccupation with their physique. Well, today's the first official day of summer, and there are a few items every traveler should bring with them on their summer vacation. Meredith Wood packs a travel health kit in today's Health Minute.
Get your travel health kit started with the basics.
If you're considering just a headache, then the acetaminophen are going to work and ibuprofen works for many people. However, if you have a minor injury, let's say you're going to be real active on your vacation, you're at the beach, and you have some inflammation involved, you want to have the ibuprofen or the naproxen, naproxen type products because those things also reduce inflammation.
Other helpful items: antacids, laxatives, hand sanitizers, antibiotic creams, and bandages. But make sure you pack enough.
Contact your doctor so that they can prescribe you extra medicine, or if you have refills left, you can ask your pharmacist to dispense enough medicine to cover your entire vacation.
And plan ahead for any bumps in the road.
And of course, we all know how travel is now. It can be kind of iffy, so make sure you cover for an extra couple of days in case there are delays.
The kit should also include copies of all prescriptions and a note from your doctor covering injectables or controlled substances. For today's Health Minute, I'm Meredith Wood.
Over in consumer news, there's some important recalls to alert consumers about. Apple is recalling a limited number of older generation 15-inch MacBook Pro laptops. The battery in these devices can potentially overheat and pose a fire safety risk. The specific model, MacBook Pro with Retina display, was sold primarily between September 2015 and February 2017. Apple says the recall does not affect any other 15-inch MacBook Pro laptops or notebooks. For details, check Apple's support website, where you can input your computer's serial number to see if it's part of the recall. Apple will replace the battery free of charge. And Hunter Fan Company is recalling nearly 8,000 Brunswick ceiling fans due to potential shock hazard. The recalled fans have 3 and 4 lights with 4 blades ranging in size from 44 inches to 60 inches. They were sold for between $150 and $300 online and in lighting stores nationwide from November 2017 through May 2019. Hunter has received 1 report of damaged light kit wires, but no injuries have been reported. Consumers should immediately stop using the recalled ceiling fans and contact Hunter to receive a free replacement light kit. That tops our look at consumer news. Over in business news, summer's here and good downward numbers for travelers at the pump. Homeowners also happy that sale signs are coming down. And yes, you can peek at your stock portfolio this week. Those numbers are already up. Fox Business reporter Christina Parson-Novelis has these stories and more in tonight's Fox Means Business.
Celebrating the first day of summer with lower gas prices. The national average for regular unleaded continuing its steady ride down, falling every day this week. A gallon now at $2.66. That's around 20 cents lower than this time last year. But those prices could see some pressure soon. That's because oil prices are surging amid new tensions with Iran. A barrel gaining by the biggest amount in 2.5 years. Meantime, those for sale signs around the neighborhood are coming down pretty fast, at least right now. Existing home sales rising more than expected in May as more buyers are jumping into the market with mortgage rates continuing to drop. To Wall Street and a big week for stocks. The Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P 500 all closing higher for the week. That's business. I'm Christina Parson-Novelis.
Still to come on Fox 14, the threat of a conflict with Iran could be growing. We'll have more from Washington with the latest on the military and diplomatic standoff. And the case against Jussie Smollett takes another turn. We'll tell you why an Illinois judge appointed a special prosecutor. Keep it right here on Fox 14.
The summer buyback has begun at Ryan Chevrolet. We're paying top dollar for every trade, every make, every model. Plus, get special summer savings on every new Ryan Chevy in stock. Like $10,000 off select new 2019 Silverado Crew Cabs, $10,000 off Silverado Crew Cabs, or get 0 APR for 72 months. Buy the new 2019 Equinox for $23,895. Ryan Chevrolet, the #1 Chevy truck dealer in Northeast Louisiana. RyanChevy.com.
Severe weather can hit at any time of day or night. Be safe and prepared with the KTVE KARD weather app for Apple and Android. Brought to you by Sam Henry, the bankruptcy attorney.
The holiday weekend is here, and we're helping you celebrate at the Nissan July 4th sales event. Save big on our lineup with advanced tech, like Rogue, Best Buy Award winner, Armada, best full-size SUV crossover, and Altima, an IIHS top safety pick. Hurry, because like the July 4th holiday, this sales event ends soon. For a limited time, save up to $3,500 or get a low $199 per month lease on the 2019 Rogue.
Staying up on local events and posting your own is easy. Just go to myarclimis.com and click on Community. The Community Calendar on myarclimis.com. Now, your Call Sam forecast first with Chief Meteorologist Jared Floyd.
Heat advisories needed across the area today, but we still keep an eye on our local waterways. The Mississippi River at Vicksburg continues to slowly fall in moderate flood stage at 49.3 feet. The fall's expected to speed up a little bit this weekend, but not enough to make really a big difference. Overnight lows tonight will drop back into the mid to upper 70s. We will spend most of the night in the 80s, folks. Be prepared for that. Highs tomorrow in the low to mid 90s with heat index values into the triple digits through the afternoon. That's forecast first for this half hour. Fox 14 News at 9 continues.
You're watching Fox 14 News at 9 with Sarah Scarlett, Chief Meteorologist Jared Floyd, and Sports with Spencer Tillis.
Thank you for choosing Fox 14. I'm Sarah Scarlett. Topping our second half hour on Fox, President Trump says he called off an airstrike because he's in no hurry to escalate tensions between Iran and the U.S. Democrats say the last-minute choice shows poor decision-making and that Congress should have been consulted. Fox News correspondent Ray Bogan is in Washington with more on the situation.
President Trump said the U.S. was, quote, cocked and loaded for an airstrike against Iran last night, but then the commander-in-chief decided not to, as many lawmakers want the president to go to Congress first before any military action.
I think the president's using caution, but he's being patient, but his patience will wear thin, particularly if the Iranians continue in this provocation.
President Trump tweeting he called off the retaliatory airstrike just 10 minutes before after learning there would be approximately 150 Iranian casualties, saying it wasn't a proportionate response to shooting down an unmanned U.S. drone. Some say it's unusual the president had not been told those stats well in advance.
It would make sense if you are considering options that you know what the consequences are before you make a decision to go forward.
We're told the B-52 set to be part of the strike had not taken off yet, but critics say the president's tweets show indecision.
Yeah, it's not the kind of thing you should say publicly when you're trying to show that you have a clear path, a clear plan.
Today, Iran state media releasing this video saying it shows the wreckage of the unmanned Navy surveillance drone shot down on Thursday. They maintain the drone had invaded their airspace, something the U.S. denies.
Multiple warnings had been given to this aircraft in 2 stages.
Analysts say the publicly canceled strike may be a tactic to restart negotiations after the U.S. withdrew from the 2015 nuclear agreement last year.
What the Iranians wanted to see happening is an immediate reaction. The president rejected that, and he said, you will come on my terms.
That was Ray Bogan reporting. At the request of the United States, on Monday, the United Nations Security Council will meet in a closed-door session to discuss not only the latest incident, but also the attacks on oil tankers last week. In news across the nation, 3 separate explosions sparked a massive fire at a South Philadelphia oil refinery. The fire broke out around 4 a.m. this morning. According to Philadelphia Energy Solutions, 4 people suffered minor injuries and were treated on site. Now, it hasn't been determined what product was burning, but they believe it was mostly propane. It's the second fire at the refinery in 1 month. The facility is part of the largest oil refining complex on the East Coast. The Philadelphia Health Department is monitoring the air quality. A judge has set a $500,000 bond for a 22-year-old man charged in the killing of a transgender woman whose body was found in a Dallas lake. Ruben Alvarado made an initial court appearance this morning after his arrest Thursday. He's charged with murder in the death of 26-year-old Chanel Lindsay. A game warden pulled Lindsay's body from White Rock Lake on June 1st, but police have not released specifics on how she died. Last week, 33-year-old Kendra LeVar Lyles was arrested on murder charges in the deaths of 3 other women in Dallas, including 23-year-old transgender woman Malaysia Booker. Alvarado is being held in the Dallas County Jail. Police have not identified a motive. In the courts, an Illinois judge appoints a special prosecutor to investigate why criminal charges against actor Jussie Smollett were dropped. Cook County Judge Michael Tuman suggesting Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx mishandled Smollett's investigation by appointing one of her top aides to oversee it after she recused herself. Tuman saying that he had no problem with Fox's recusal, but he did have issue with her handing it off to someone in her office. In a written statement, Foxx took issue with the ruling, explaining she followed the advice of counsel and her then chief ethics officer. Tuman is now required by law to ask the state attorney general's office or the state prosecutor to serve as special prosecutor. If they decline, he must make the same request to elected state's attorney throughout Illinois. And if none of those prosecutors agree to the case, the city can hire a private attorney to handle it. In world news, an Alabama high school teacher dead after a trip to the Dominican Republic. The 45-year-old's family says she went there for an elective cosmetic procedure. Brittany Dion has more.
A mother, educator, sister, and friend, Alicia Williams, went to the Dominican Republic and never came home. Williams, a 9th grade English teacher at Huffman High School, and mother.
She's a mother. She has a 14-year-old son. She got her bachelor's from Jacksonville State, and then she went on and got her master's degree in English.
Dr. Mila Bennett posted this tearful video online after Williams' family contacted her. Bennett did not treat Williams.
Then her son got on the phone, and he said that he wanted everyone to know that his mother was a social butterfly. And she was a great cook, and she was very loving, and his favorite thing she made for him was red velvet cake.
We spoke to Dr. Bennett from her practice in Johns Creek, Georgia. Bennett, a plastic surgeon and safe surgery advocate, posts videos online warning about the dangers of overseas operations.
But the thing about the Dominican Republic that is a little different than Miami and Colombia and Tijuana and some of the others where bad things tend to happen is that even the women who don't die, a lot of women come back and get really horrific infections that are difficult to clear.
Bennett says Williams had surgery on the 2nd and died on the 7th. She was just 45 years old.
Her sister said that she loved fashion and she was a diva, and she was a really creative person, and she loved her students and her students loved her.
That was Brittany Dion reporting. Family members say she developed blood clots after the elective procedure and died 5 days later. While the UN approving a treaty against violence and harassment at work today, the agency overseeing international labor holding the talks, the meeting settling on an agreement protecting workers from being harassed at locations where they're paid or taking a rest. Employees are also protected during training or work-related social events. The treaty was inspired by Hollywood's #MeToo movement, which led to protests across the country for equal treatment in the workplace. People at the meeting say everyone's rights are protected under the treaty.
The convention recommendation is that everybody falls under the protection of this convention. This convention establishes the proposition that everybody has the right to a work environment, a workplace, a working life entirely free of violence and harassment.
6 governments did not vote in favor of the treaty, including Russia, Singapore, and El Salvador. Trending online, thousands of people gathered at Britain's ancient monument Stonehenge today to celebrate the summer solstice. The sun rose shortly before 5 local time, with light entering behind the monument's entrance, the heel stone, causing rays to beam into the center of the stone circle. Stonehenge, a collection of standing stones that each year attracts tourists to celebrate the longest day of the year in the northern hemisphere. And Jared, today was a perfect example of the first day of summer, right? It was super hot.
This day rocked. Stonehenge.
Okay, you know what? Good job. That was good. That was a good one. Yeah.
It's Friday. Gotta jazz it up somehow. Anyway.
It's funny.
It's hot and humid. It's going to stay that way this weekend. Forecast next on Fox.
The Twin City Mayor's Committee on Disabilities is holding a fundraising banquet to recognize our scholarship recipients and to honor individuals and businesses that advocate for the disabled in Ouachita Parish. Join us July 16th, 6 to 9 p.m. in the West Monroe Convention Center. Get your tickets today.
For the latest news on farming and energy that affects us right here at home, watch the Ag Energy Report.
The Ag and Energy Report, weekdays at 7 on Fox 14, your morning news. Sponsored by Goldman Equipment.
It's the Honda 4th of July sales event, and it's your chance to get a new Honda vehicle that can pack all of life's best adventures. Yep, time to start checking off that bucket list. Selfies over at Niagara Falls? Check. Gateway Arch? Check. Being awarded by KBB.com as 2019's best overall brand? Check. So pop into your Honda dealer today for great deals on some of our most popular vehicles at the Honda 4th of July sales event.
Stuck in jail? Call South Second Bail. Bad things sometimes happen to good people. If that's you, then you need to call South Second Bail Bonds. We're fast and friendly and serve all surrounding parishes. Stuck in jail? Call South Second Bail.
From the start, the C-Class was ahead of its time. Still, we never stopped making it stronger, faster, smarter. Because to be the best is to never, ever stop making it better. The 2019 C-Class family. Lease the C300 sedan for just $419 a month at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
So now, Dish has over 80,000 on-demand movies and shows. 80,000. Why? I mean, it would take you years to get through 80,000. Thing is, it's not about 80,000. It's about one. That one movie you saw that one time on a first date with that one girl. That's why.
Dish, tuned in to you.
Hey, how was your week? My in-laws were in town. I got a standing desk. I tried quinoa.
I took the dog to the groomer.
Make your weekends more exciting than the days before them.
We drove 3 hours to the kids' swim meet.
Right now, qualified buyers get 0% APR financing for 72 months, plus a $2,000 special edition bonus on a new 2019 Tundra Special Edition. Toyota, let's go places.
Rainy seasons can greatly impact our local waterways and our daily lives. So when water levels change, count on us to keep you informed.
The River Level Report on Fox 14 News. Brought to you by the Kennedy Agency. Live Storm Tracker Doppler Radar, sponsored by bankruptcy attorney E. Orem Young. Now, Storm Tracker weather with Chief Meteorologist Jared Floyd.
Pretty quiet night all told across the areas. To take a look at the new live Storm Tracker Doppler radar, we do have some isolated storms. Again, radar in surveillance mode, basically meaning it zooms out 300 miles in any direction, and you can pick up some of the isolated storms across northern Mississippi at this hour. Not headed our direction. Really wasn't even a threat in our area as we work through the late night hours tonight. Skies have generally cleared, but we will see some passing clouds as we head through the overnight. Winds will kind of crank back up out of the south, and we expect clouds to kind of fill back in overnight tonight and through the day tomorrow. Now, we will see some gaps in those clouds, and regardless of cloud cover through the course of the day, it will be a very hot and humid afternoon. A vicious line of thunderstorms, a MCS, we call it a mesoscale convective complex or a mesoscale convective system. Either way, it's a big squall line of storms that's moving eastward, bringing damaging winds to central and eastern sections of Tennessee. Could sneak into northern Alabama, but the kind of the western flank of this cluster of storms has really started to weaken in northern Mississippi. Not headed our direction anyway. Upper ridge of high pressure keeping a lot of sinking, compressing, warming air in the atmosphere, and you combine that with southerly winds at the surface, which are pumping in Gulf moisture almost continuously over the next couple of days. It's basically two ingredients in our forecast: heat and humidity. You can see the severe thunderstorm warnings associated with this activity off to our east, but again, nothing really headed in our direction anytime soon. Even at the bottom of the 9 o'clock hour, we're at 86 degrees in El Dorado, 87 in Shreveport, 85 Monroe, 83 Vicksburg, 82 in Alexandria, 81 in Natchitoches. So many of these spots are still well into the 80s, and we'll spend most of the night in the 80s. So I want to kind of preface that as we look for overnight lows in the mid to upper 70s tonight. I would not be surprised to see a handful of heat advisories issued across the region tomorrow, simply because we will be in the 80s probably by 8 o'clock in the morning at the very latest. You'll probably be in the 90s by lunchtime at the very latest. So we'll spend a lot of the days, a lot of the daytime hours in the heat and humidity with heat index values at least at 97 or higher, and then surpassing the 105 mark as we head into the late afternoon. Mid-90s for highs, and that's, again, air temperatures, but heat index values well into the triple digits at their highest point through the afternoon. Winds breezy out of the south. Lots of light colored, loose-fitting clothing, lots of water. Avoid the sugary beverages if you can. Check your back seats before you lock the doors to your car. Make sure your pets have plenty of cool water, clean water, and a shady spot to rest in through the afternoon. Bring them in if you can. A look at the rest of the forecast shows high temperatures staying in the low to mid-90s through the weekend. Get a little bit of a break from the heat as the rain moves back in Monday, Tuesday. Could knock highs back into the upper into the 80s. And if that happens, we will consider it really good news. Low 90s for highs middle of part of next week. And that's the more typical summertime pattern at that point. Morning lows generally in the low end of the 70s. A lot of rules to keep track of when you get into the heat and humidity of the summertime months, making sure everybody's accounted for, but make sure that everybody's staying cool safely as we head through the next couple of weeks and really, quite frankly, the next couple of months.
I know 80s doesn't sound that bad right now, right?
Yeah, and 80s are kind of our break at this point. So 90s, pretty brutal. Be careful out there.
All right, thanks, Jared.
You bet.
When we come back, the Pelicans took Zion Williamson with the first overall pick in last night's NBA draft. But is the 19-year-old ready to be the face of the franchise? Plus, one local star got to hear his name being called last night as well. Hear what the one-time El Dorado High School great had to say about his big moment. That's next in sports. You're watching Fox 14 News at 9.
The holiday weekend is here, and we're helping you celebrate at the Nissan July 4th sales event. Save big on our lineup with advanced tech, like Rogue, Best Buy Award winner, Armada, Best Full-Size SUV crossover, and Altima, an IIHS top safety pick. Hurry, because like the July 4th holiday, this sales event ends soon. For a limited time, save up to $3,500 or get a low $199 per month lease on the 2019 Rogue.
I'm Dina Hitt, founder and CEO of Unitech Training Academy. I started Unitech as a single mom.
I am a single mom of an autistic child.
I wanted to be able to make a living for me and my 3 kids.
I shouldn't be where I am today, but I am because of Unitech.
Unitech really prepared me for my career.
Thank you, Unitech.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Unitech. Go to UnitechTrainingAcademy.com and start your journey today.
When your car's been in an accident, take it to Mitchell's. When Mother Nature wreaks havoc on your car, take it to Mitchell's. When human error happens to you, take it to Mitchell's. Whatever the damage, Mitchell's Body and Frame is a full-service auto body repair facility that can handle it. Certified I-CAR technicians with 3D frame measuring capabilities. When your car's body has seen better days, take it to Mitchell's Body and Frame, 705 Washington Street in Monroe.
Big disgrace, waving your banner. We will.
Get 0 for 72 and $2,500 in total savings on F-150, plus $750 appreciation cash for military and first responders.
When left untreated, hearing loss has been linked to depression, increased risk of falls, social isolation, and most worrisome, dementia. Hi, I'm here to tell you there's an easy solution that may help decrease the risk of these life-limiting issues. They're called hearing aids. Schedule an appointment today to have your hearing tested and try the latest hearing technology for yourself.
Call Audibel today and set up your hearing evaluation.
The summer buyback has begun at Ryan Chevrolet. We're paying top dollar for every trade, every make, every model. Plus, get special summer savings on every new Ryan Chevy in stock, like $10,000 off select new 2019 Silverado Crew Cabs, $10,000 off Silverado Crew Cabs, or get 0 APR for 72 months. Buy the new 2019 Equinox for $23,895. Ryan Chevrolet, the #1 Chevy truck dealer in Northeast Louisiana. RyanChevy.com.
If you're going to make one call, make it count. Call Creed & Creed today.
And now, sports with Spencer Tillis.
With the 38th pick in the 2019 NBA Draft, the Chicago Bulls select Daniel Gafford.
What a moment last night for Daniel Gafford when he got a chance to live out his dream by being drafted in the NBA when the Chicago Bulls selected him 38th overall. Gafford held a private viewing party, as you just saw, with some close family and friends over in Little Rock. He had to wait a few hours, but it was worth the wait. The former El Dorado High School star becomes the first player from that program to ever get drafted in the NBA, and the feeling is almost too good to believe.
Man, this feels amazing. You know, finally getting to hear my name being called on the TV, man. It's like magic, man. Yeah, I got all my people here, so it's real big for me. It's time to go to work, though. What's next? I hit the ground running. I get to work as soon as I get to the town. Man, that's all the people that believe in me, man. I appreciate it.
Right after being the first overall pick by the Pelicans, Zion Williamson was asked, does he have anything to say to the fans? And his response, let's dance. Now, that is a big shout out to a favorite movie of his as the Endgame Avengers, if you follow that at all. But you better believe people all over New Orleans didn't really care about that. They started dancing right away last night. Today, the team held their press conference to introduce their new franchise player, and it sounds like he's ready to ignite the city.
It's been just a lot. You can't even, I'm still taking it in. You know, I dreamt about having my name called by the commissioner since I was a little kid, and for him to call my name first meant even more to me. And having my family and friends that are supporting me, I think just made that moment much better. And as the rest of it, it's just sleep, get on a plane, and press conference.
And while the fans might be ready to make this guy their franchise player, the front office isn't ready to do that just yet. They're telling everybody to slow their expectations just yet.
Jrue Holiday is the face of this franchise. He is that dude. This is his team, and we are all going to be made of the same stuff. And that means we sacrifice whatever it takes to win basketball games. And because Zion is the person he is, all he wants to do is contribute to that. So people looked at me kind of oddly, and it got ran many times again. He is not the savior of the Pelicans franchise.
I don't believe you. Meanwhile, the gamble paid off for former LSU star Tremont Waters as he was selected by the Celtics with the 51st pick. And with Kyrie Irving set to get out of town, the point guard job is going to be up for grabs. It's still going to be a hard job. I mean, he's still going to have to earn a roster spot. But playing for Brad Stevens would be a really good fit for this guy.
Thank you for welcoming me. Obviously, there were our ups and downs throughout the seasons. 2 seasons I was there, but I would definitely say thank you for helping me and helping me grow into the person and basketball player that I am today. For all the love that the LSU fans, the coaching staff, my teammates, everyone in Louisiana, they definitely helped groom me to who I am today. And Skylar Mays, for when I went on my visit, he made me get out of my box and try fried alligator. So I definitely want to shout him out for that, and good luck to those guys.
I really got to see footage of him trying to wrestle alligators. However, last night did not go as planned for everybody. Undrafted free agent Naz Reid ended up signing a 2-way deal with the Timberwolves, which means he's going to split time between their active roster and playing for their G League team. Another way of saying that is this guy probably should have come back to college for one more year. ULM's Deshaun Smith went undrafted as well. He's hoping to sign a free agent deal with somebody in the next few days. That is going to be it for sports. We'll have another look at your forecast coming up next.
An average filter inside your home can catch about 8% of what goes through it. A professional grade filter can catch up to 85% of what goes through it. For more tips, visit our quick tips page at jillysac.com.
Now is a great time to own the Honda CR-V, a 2019 KBB.com Best Buy. It's an SUV with smooth handling and excellent power delivery, and plenty of space for you and your passengers. So find out for yourself why the Honda CR-V is ready for adventure. hurry into your Honda dealer to find a great deal on a 2019 KBB.com Best Buy.
For nearly 100 years,
Entergy has powered our stories.
Stories of hope, triumph, resilience.
1.3 million customers.
More than 5,000 Louisiana employees.
Each one a story.
From rebuilding marshlands
to opening new doors for students.
Entergy ensures that all of our stories shine brighter.
Because together,
we power life.
News sponsored by Willis Knighton, home of the healthcare heroes.
What's going on at Homeland Bank?
We're visiting.
In a bank?
Yeah, we do it every day.
Really? But this is a bank. Nobody visits in a bank.
We do. We want to talk to you. Come in and have a cup of coffee with us.
From Columbia to Gina to Monroe and West Monroe.
We want to know what your needs are so we can serve you better.
We are the bank that listens. Homeland Bank. Opening doors since 1986. Homeland Bank. Your local bank. Where's your money?
The Planet Fitness Teen Summer Challenge is on. Now through September 1st, teens ages 15 through 18 can work out at Planet Fitness totally free. No catches, no commitments. Come in and use tons of cardio and strength equipment on your own, or sign up for one of our free teen fitness training classes. Plus, enter for the chance to win a $5,000 scholarship and other prizes. Visit any Planet Fitness to sign up for your free summer membership. Check out planetfitness.com to find a club near you.
J. Russell Kitchen and Restaurant Supply is the largest kitchen and restaurant supplier in North Louisiana and South Arkansas, and it's open to the public. Your full kitchen resource.
Final look at the 7-day forecast shows afternoon highs topping back out, low spots in the low to mid-90s as we work through this upcoming weekend. Morning lows will stay in the mid-70s. Rain chances sneak back in first part of next week. That will knock temperatures down, and at that point, I don't think we're going to hear any complaints. We'll look for a more summertime pattern by this time next week. If you're heading out and about this weekend, Peach Festival, obviously this weekend, drink lots of water, have fun.
Yeah.
But if you feel a little woozy, seek shelter indoors. If you feel woozy for too long, seek some medical help, just in case.
All right. That's going to be it for us. We'll see you back here on Monday. Have a great night.